Found a gold mine of bullshit on the internet today, folks. Spirit science. Let's see if it's half as stupid as it sounds.
The religion of the future will be a cosmic religion. It should transcend personal God and avoid dogma and theology.
Logic fail number 1. Dogma and theology are inherently part of religion, and if any religion exists, there will be dogma and theology surrounding it. That's a fact. And what the hell are you supposed to be anyway? A voodoo doll? 'Cause I don't believe in voodoo.
Can you feel it? A sort of anticipation growing stronger and stronger? Another way of putting it is time is speeding up. I've heard that.
Prove that shit. I mean, that sounds a lot like dogma to me. Just making an assertion, and since you're the authority on this bullshit, saying that the bullshit absolutely has to be true? Maybe? No? I think so.
Or perhaps something in their own lives? Something big is about to happen. You can see signs of it all over the world. Revolutions rapidly spreading across the Middle East. Protests occurring in America and Europe.
Those aren't revolutions in the Middle East. That's just Islam being Islam. Ever since the day that it burst forth from the Arabian Peninsula, the Middle East has been a war-torn hellhole to one degree or another, and that's the way it's going to stay until somebody pulls the trigger and decides that Islam has to go or be changed. Like Western Christianity or Judaism. Don't see them blowing each other up in the name of their God all the time, do you?
Earthquakes are devastating the world, like in Japan, Myanmar, and Greece.
Correlation is not causation. Are you going to commit every logical fallacy in the book before you get to 5 minutes into the video? Is that what your entire thing is going to be based off of, just logical fallacies and other total bullshit? The only reason we get so much more exposure to those earthquakes and other natural disasters is because of the internet. Just like the only reason we're exposed to your stupid bullshit is the internet.
The global economy is failing so hard that it looks like we're looking forward into a global recession, the likes of which makes the 30s look like a cakewalk.
So on top of being a spiritual guru, you're also an economist now. Tell me again everything you know about why the global economy is failing and what it has to do with all the bullshit you spew at people.
Not to mention that if global warming doesn't put our planet into an ice age, we're going to kill ourselves from overpopulation for sure.
Wow, something we actually agree on. Climate change. Yes, that is important and needs to be addressed, but it should be addressed by scientists and other experts, not cartoon voodoo dolls. And you know what? If we're so stupid that we're going to overpopulate the planet enough to wipe ourselves out, that's fine and dandy with me. I opted out of the breeding program years ago, so no skin off my sack, pal.
And using the rate of doubling, we definitely don't have the resources to survive the way we are for maybe a little over 10 years.
So on top of being a spiritual guru and an economist, you're also a population statistician now? Citation needed. But I would imagine the cartoon voodoo doll is very good at that type of math.
Yet, despite all of these things, we're about to learn something amazing.
I've already learned something. Cartoon voodoo dolls are full of shit.
It's something that will transform the Earth into something completely different, something incredible and beautiful. Many people across the globe have learned about this, and they've applied it to themselves and witnessed marvelous changes. Others have dedicated their lives to talking about it, to teaching it.
Those people are wasting their time and energy and other people's time and energy, and I pity them.
I'm someone who's still exploring it, and I want more people to talk about it with. Mind, body, spirit. This is the sacred trinity that allows us life on Earth.
Wrong. The three big things that allow life to occur on this planet are 1. The Earth's position in space relative to the Sun. 2. An atmosphere to prevent all the shit flying around in space from wiping out the life on the Earth. And 3. The presence of liquid water. Those are 3 of the big ones. The stuff you said, no. That's just nonsense. Spirits? Really? Spirits are just some bullshit we made up. That's all it is. Spirits are some bullshit the early human beings made up because they were scared. That's it.
Without even one of these 3, we could not function properly. Yet, in today's world, we only really truly understand 2 of the 3. We have scientifically mapped the mind and the body. We understand next to every aspect about each of them. Yet, what do we really know about the spirit, the soul? What is it? Where does it come from?
You see what he did there, folks? It was a classic pseudoscience maneuver perfected by theists worldwide. Use something that's actually scientific to make bullshit sound like it's scientific. See, when he said science has mapped out the body, yes, they have. And then he starts talking about the soul. Once again, that's just some shit we made up. It's not real. It does not exist.
For centuries, religions have been the primary source for answers pertaining to the soul, but they're not concrete. Many different religions have a different answer and ideas about how things work on this level. Recently, however, a discovery was made, which led to new discoveries and further discoveries.
Discoveries that led to discoveries that led to more discoveries. What are these discoveries? I mean, could you be any more vague? You are insulting science by having science in the title of your videos, because it's not science. It's barely pseudoscience. It's just bullshit.
These incredible insights went largely unnoticed by the global community, and while governments and secret services of the world acknowledged them, it wasn't something that really got to the masses. Today, this information is still slowly coming out, and I'm going to share it with you. In the world of science, what do we really know about thoughts? We know we can measure them. By hooking up scanners, you can measure the frequency that are emitted when you think them. They're measurable, yet there isn't anywhere specific in the brain that holds them. Is it possible that you create your thoughts outside your mind? Maybe not. But is it possible that you create your thoughts into the external world from your mind? This is what we're going to talk about today. Have you ever had a moment where you knew exactly what someone else was going to say, about 2 or 3 seconds before they even started talking? Do you have a shared connection between a loved one or a pet, where you can always tell exactly how the other is feeling, or what they're thinking of, even if they're not really around?
Yes, I do that all the time. It's called knowing someone well and having things in common with them. People that are generally close friends or that know each other well usually kind of think the same and usually enjoy the same things, so it's not that uncommon for people to have the same thoughts or say the same things at the same time. Once again, correlation is not causation. You're stupid.
Have you ever met someone that you really got bad vibes from and your intuition turned out right? We've all had experiences like these at least a few times, some many more than others. There are even a few people who can kind of tap into this experience quite easily. I believe one of the terms for it is psychic?
James Randi has spent decades debunking psychics. Not one has ever proven themselves to be a real psychic. He has $1 million challenge out to anybody that can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are actually psychic, they have actual psychic abilities. And nobody has stepped up to the plate to claim that $1 million challenge. You know why nobody has stepped up to the plate? Because psychics are frauds. Just like you. They are con artists of the highest order, and you fit in perfectly with them. You lying sack of shit.
Let's say for the sake of discussion that when you think of something, anything, it appears right in front of you. No, not physically, but let's say it appears in a different realm that's in and around all of us. We'll just assume for now that it's not something that we're consciously aware of, and it's something that we're going to discuss later on. For now, let's just call it the thought realm.
The other day, as I was driving my Lamborghini through the snow, I was accosted by a pack of hooligans riding velociraptors and brandishing chainsaws. You see how that works, Mr. Voodoo Doll? Everybody can make up bullshit, and that's all you just did. Once again, you just made up more bullshit. The thought realm is just bullshit. The only place the thought realm exists is in your own head.
When you're doing something, you start by thinking about it. Whether you're building a pool in your backyard or making a sandwich, you have to have thought of it first. Even the subconscious thoughts for things like walking and breathing.
Wrong again. Walking is a voluntary movement. Yes, you have the motions down to the point where they seem involuntary because of muscle memory, but it is not an involuntary movement. Breathing is. You have to breathe. You breathe all the time, no matter what. Okay? Do you not understand that basic premise of voluntary versus involuntary?
This shouldn't be anything new to us. We think of things before we do them, even if it's a split second before them. This is just how we function, and our physical actions match the thoughts that we've created. You might say that you move through your thoughts, turning non-physical ideas into physical actions. When an inventor gets an idea, this idea can quickly spread throughout all of his colleagues and friends. Ideas and thoughts are spreadable. Multiple people can hold on to the same idea at once, allowing them to grow and develop further.
Yes, you can share thoughts and ideas with people. It's called language and writing, okay? And this great thing we have called the internet. Unfortunately, people like you have commandeered it to deliver their own brand of stupidity and trick gullible people into believing lies.
In this scenario, don't think of thoughts as separate, but as a whole that everyone is latching onto. Of course, because we can't physically see this realm of thoughts, we can't tell exactly what the original idea was, only the interpretation that they describe using functions like speech and body language, as well as our own intuition, which is how thoughts connect to each other. Because of this, we add a bit of our own creation to the mix, our own spice, while still working towards the same common goal. A social gathering is another good example of this at work too. People gathering together because they share the same ideas, thoughts, and emotions as the rest of the people there. An example could be a college course on architecture. People interested in architecture would attend the course because they share the same interest mentally. This shouldn't be anything mind-blowing. It's our day-to-day lives, just from a different perspective.
It's a different perspective, alright. It's the perspective of a con artist trying to sell bullshit.
Even if you're using something that someone else made, you're still creating this experience for yourself. You manifested that iPad or house or whatever into your experiences. So with thoughts connecting with other thoughts comes our first big realization. This new understanding of how intertwined we truly are. We are not only connected in the physical realm, but in a mental and spiritual way as well.
Okay, that's enough of this shit. I think the people at home get the point. It's nothing but circular logic and claims with zero evidence to back them up. You didn't provide one piece of evidence for anything you said in this entire video, and the rest of the video is basically the same shit over and over and over and over. So since I can basically feel my brain cells dying every second I listen to this shit, I'm just gonna call it quits now, and the next video I do for your dumbass will be on the next episode. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe.